Hey everybody, we welcome you into a special episode of Three Guys Before the Game. Tony Caridi along with the Dean, Hoppy and the Senator Brad Howe in Omaha. And on this recap, we will follow up on West Virginia's loss to the Tar Heels of the University of North Carolina, falling in the College World Series Game 2 for the West Virginia Mountaineers by a final score of 5-2. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Go-Mart. Get yourself that Go-Mart Rewards card, download that app, and immediately begin saving on your food and fuel. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. Well, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's biscuit. Everyone does here in Omaha. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. They won't take no for an answer. Simply, they don't know. No, they just say no. And by Connolly CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. Spreads on stats coming up. Textual Healing later in the show. Textual Healing brought to us by WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you.
I have obvious observations, too.
Great. So we are here inside the Let It Fly Sports Bar, and it is early in the morning. In fact, the only people that aren't us that are here are the incredible video producer who we've befriended and now is going to basically attend all of our family functions. That's Vale, and he has been an absolute godsend. And a couple of folks that are still cleaning the establishment, they're getting ready for another busy day here because we've got two baseball games coming up in Omaha. West Virginia obviously is off, but the tournament continues.
I think we got the keys to the building.
Literally,
I mean, it's Val and us.
Yeah,
We're
here. I think also there's a couple of Mountaineer fans down there that
Never left.
still from last night.
Yeah, never left. Okay, disappointing, obviously, result for West Virginia. The Mountaineers fall 5-2. Quite honestly, it was the kind of game that you had anticipated. Extremely close, and something was going to turn it at one point for either side. Obviously, it's baseball, so it's going to be some form of a mistake. And that's how it played out. You know, you went into that game and you said, in a perfect world, you would love to see, Max Yale have command of his stuff. And he certainly did. Gave up the 2 runs in the first inning, but his line on the night, he throws 7 innings. And going into the game, guys, if you just said, okay, Max is going to give you 7 innings of work, you'd go like,
and give up 2 runs. You take that all day.
That was the target. You got the Big 12 pitcher of the year on the year. He was outstanding. This loss is not on Max Yale. He did exactly what you wanted him to do. You go back to those 2 runs you gave up in the first inning, and again, this happens in baseball. Sometimes you hit the ball 108 miles an hour off the bat and it goes right to somebody. Sometimes you barely make contact and it finds its way through, and that's what Carolina did to get that thing started. There was a hit by pitch in there, bounced and then hit the batter, not even a traditional hit by pitch. So there were some odd things, and credit Carolina for scratching out too early, forced West Virginia to fight its way back in, which it did. But Max Yale got settled in after that. A couple of little dinkers in the first got Carolina ahead, and then he was dealing, guys. That's exactly what you needed. Got into the late innings. That made it a 3-inning game, and you've got a chance to steal it. This is pretty simple. We could make this episode 30 more seconds if you want. It was defensive lapses by West Virginia. That was the difference. That allowed the Carolina runs to score. That's something West Virginia hasn't done all year. It's been pitching and great defense. We just talked on the last episode how the Mountaineers came into this field as the 3rd best fielding team in it, but only 3 1/1000ths of a point behind the leader. It was one of the best defensive teams in the field, and you just had a couple untimely errors last night that led to runs by Carolina. That's the difference in the game.
Yeah, and my macro on this would be, look, you're still alive, right? I mean, it's a double elimination tournament. You'll play Troy tomorrow, but you got to win 3, 1 against Troy and 2 against North Carolina to get to the championship game, and we know what West Virginia did in the regional. But still, it's deflating. I mean, West Virginia fans were so high with this team, and we witnessed this everywhere we went in Omaha. And during the game last night, all the chants, huge crowd, West Virginia well represented. So, look, West Virginia's still in it, but it was deflating because this team had done so well. And Brad, you're right. I mean, this game was this close. You look at the stats. Total bases, West Virginia 8, UNC 10. Runners left on base, West Virginia 7, UNC 9. Hits, 8 and 8. No home runs. This game was extremely close. It just came down, as baseball does sometimes, and Coach Saban's talked about that, a couple of mistakes. That's what happened.
You got to give a ton of credit to you're able as West Virginia to chase their pitcher before before Max Yale goes. So that's like one of the first things in a game. Whose pitcher, whose starter gets pulled first? You won that category, but the young fella, and he is a young fella that came in for North Carolina. McDuffie was absolutely he was the massive part of this game.
Yeah, one of the best freshmen in America last year. He comes in this year and he goes 3 2/3 and just gives up 3 hits. I thought that was the difference. You chased Lynch and felt pretty good that you were into the bullpen there. And West Virginia did what it did. It kept scrapping. It kept getting guys on base. You just couldn't push them across. And then credit McDuffie. I thought he was really good in the difference in that game for Carolina.
He was solid. And then when they're closing out the game, they bring in Glauber, and Glauber just throws gas. I mean, he throws 96, 97 miles an hour for 2/3 of an inning and gets, West Virginia's swinging. You think, okay, so it can't. You got 2 men on, you got the tying run at the plate, and Glauber just throws heat, and that was the difference there.
Very good. He was 11-0 on the season. A lot of decisions for a guy that only made 3 starts. That's one of the Freshman of the Year finalists. I mean, he's a live arm, and you saw it. So they did a great job on the back end of their bullpen getting there. And again, we'll go through some other parts of this. There were certainly missed opportunities for West Virginia, but defensively, West Virginia's got to make plays. When it makes plays, it generally wins games. And last night, unfortunately, was one of those that did not.
And that overshadows the 2 errors in the 7th overshadows some really good defensive plays before that, right? Like Hall made a great play catching a shot and then throwing, and then Guzman stretches out and just keeps his foot on the bag and makes a play. That was a great defensive play. So it was an uncharacteristic defensive breakdown that cost him.
We often say, and you hear coaches say, the other team gets to play too.
Yes.
The other team gets to do things. On Gallagher's triple that was the deciding hit, go back and watch where that pitch was by Max Yale. You'll take that pitch 10 out of 10 times. It was down in the zone, and Gallagher did a nice job of going down and getting it and driving it into that big outfield grass there here at Charles Schwab Field. That's a really good pitch. Sometimes the other guys just do things too, and they did in this case.
You need breaks. You need the ball to go your way. And West Virginia had a call at third base on an Armani Guzman steal attempt that goes to review. It doesn't go your way, so that will also be a footnote to this game that you'll always put in the category of what if. What if the call on the field was upheld and he remained safe and he's at third base?
Game of inches. The phrase was developed because of baseball. That's a great example. And listen, we're not here to complain about officiating or umpiring, but that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one to swallow there when you look at it as long as you do and you overturn the call. Hop, we complain about that in football all the time. If it takes more than what a basketball shot clock takes, it's probably the definition of indisputable. And that was close. I thought we could argue that either way. Unfortunately, it goes against West Virginia, and you're right. You're talking about second and third if they call Guzman. They leave the call as they called it on the field. Mm-hmm. As the guy that's standing over the play called it safe before they went somewhere else. Where do they go? They go to some other state to check that out?
I believe it's Pittsburgh.
They go to Pittsburgh.
Okay,
so the guy that's over that call and staring at the base gets it taken out of his hands. He did call it safe, I believe. Changes the game.
Yeah,
second, third, less than 2 outs. Here you go.
And as you said, I mean, if he had been called out, we'd quibble about that and go, well, it was, how could you overturn it? Why is this tough? So it gets called safe, and we watch it a bunch of times. I think Mountaineer fans will always remember that. It did not look like there was indisputable evidence to overturn the call, right? I mean, it was so close, so how do you overturn it? But, again, that's the thing that's a footnote to this game. Didn't cost you the game, but certainly didn't help you.
A point on that, Brad. So let's talk about some folks are making the case that the third baseman's foot was covering the bag as Guzman was sliding, but the rule is
if you've got the ball, you're allowed to be in front of the base. So I think if you wanted to go back and look and quibble it when he caught the ball, but I think there were a bunch of people I was around said he's got the ball there as his foot goes in front of the bag. So I'd need to see it again, but that's the interpretation was he had the ball, therefore the foot can be in
By the way, it was a great throw.
Oh.
It was a perfect throw.
Well, as they say, game of inches, you've got to give just unbelievable credit. That was a rocket shot. It was a laser beam right. They couldn't have thrown it better.
No.
Could not have thrown it better. 3 guys before the game.
Still thought you said.
Is brought to us by GoMart. Get yourself a GoMart Rewards card. You do that by July the 31st. So up until July 31, get the app. Download the app. Go to the App Store. Just go to their website. You get a bonus entry into their weekly, did I say $1,000 GoMart gift card giveaway? Plus, you get 30 cents off a gallon of gas, as many gallons as you can put in your vehicle when you download the app. Gas savings and a chance at a grand. That is a beautiful friendship. You can sign up by going to gomart.com. That is gomart.com. Three Guys is also brought to us by Jan Dills, attorneys at law. You know, we've been reading some of their client testimonials. This came from Jay. The team that worked with me to achieve success in getting my disability approved, nothing less than spectacular. Tremendous dedication to my case, incredible care, helped me overcome the challenges I unintentionally created. Kind of like Hoppy, creates a lot of problems unintentionally.
Oh,
Despite all of that, they remain patient and dedicated. Truly a wonderful experience. If you're reading this, need help with most legal matters, you want kind, caring, thorough, focused, dedicated, exceptional legal representation. My opinion, Jan Dills, attorneys at law, are the best. Did you slide in Hoppy's obvious observations without a call to it, or do you have others?
Without a call, I mean, most of what I said are obvious, and we've already kind of talked about. But it tells you too that baseball at this level, the margins are so close, and against a lesser team, you might have been able to survive that. You might have been able to survive a couple of mistakes, and get a couple of runs late off maybe a lesser relief pitcher. And at this level, you just can't. Number one. The second thing is that. How much have we talked about Steve Saban's just being level-headed? And last night, I listened to the post-game press conference, and he's just explains what happened, and he's got the same tone in his voice, guys. And he's saying, well, it's baseball, and mistakes happen, and credited Max Yell for the job he did, and we've come back before, and when we've been down in the losers bracket, he's the same guy, which is the approach you need now because you really do have a tough road to hoe.
Yeah, that's the thing. And we were talking on the way home last night. The nice thing about this event is that was a massive game last night. I've used this stat before. Rob Anderson, who's director of communications here for Creighton, put the stat out before the game. 29 of the last 35 World Series champions have started 2-0.
Yeah.
So that was an important game, as we know. You get into that winner's bracket, but you're also not done.
Right.
You take the loss last night, and you're not done. You got to dust yourself off, and you got to get right back up. This is no different than where West Virginia was in the regional. Now, what you need moving forward is someone's got to step up, as Dawson Montesa did after a loss in the regional and said, oh, is that right? Give me the ball. I got it against a very good Wake Forest team. That's a game, guys, we didn't talk much about. We focused just on Dawson's performance about that game, which was elite. That's a very good Wake Forest team. They were just behind West Virginia in the RPI, and Dawson took it and shoved and went out and won that game and advanced you on. And we'll get into Troy here in a second. You're going to get a rematch with the Trojans, but that's what you need now. Whoever gets the ball now in Game 3 has to go out and deliver a gem and get you right back in a position to go at Carolina again.
And that is one of the many beauties of this event. Unlike any other sport that we are involved with, in football, you go to your bowl game and you play the bowl game, and the bowl game is over after 4 quarters. Now, hopefully thinking down the road, you get into the college football playoff, you'd have multiple opportunities to play more than one. Basketball, the finality is like a gunshot. It is over, and your season is immediately done if it's the tournament, or if it's the NCAA tournament, your conference tournament, it's just instantly over. This at least gives you an opportunity to take a deep inhale, not that you wanted to drop one at all, but at least you're not done. And so now you battle through, and because of the way West Virginia had to come through in the regional, at least they can lean on what you just said. Hey, we've done this before. Let's do it again.
And you're playing a team that you've defeated. So you can be. However, this Troy team is
frightening.
They are frightening, and we worried about their bats, and West Virginia was able to manage that when they met the first time. But they got hot against Ole Miss. They scored 12 runs in that game and just sent Ole Miss back home. So this is a Troy team now. It's got a little confidence. They're coming off a win.
Yeah, you know what they were also coming off of? A loss. Right? They also lost. So they got back on the horse and won the game. So this also isn't the greatest team ever assembled, all due respect, of course, to Troy. They took a loss early. So now it's a matter of which of these teams can get a good pitching performance, get some timely hitting, and keep moving in this thing. The path got bumpier. There's no question about that. But the path didn't end. You're still rolling.
Ole Miss is the first of the 8 teams to be eliminated, and today, you could get some brand names out of this tournament. Texas could go bye-bye here today. We've got 2 more games that are being played. Obviously, West Virginia is off. The Mountaineers play tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And so as we record, that would be the Tuesday game at 2 o'clock against Troy. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. It's early as we record, and you know what?
What?
I do wish I could walk into a Tudor's here in downtown Omaha right now.
There's no equivalent.
No, and say, give me one of those 5.55 breakfast specials, which allows you, for folks, obviously things are a little bit tight. Gas prices continue to increase. Groceries, you know, the grocery store lately, like everything cost $100. But at Tudor's, choice of 5 of the most popular biscuit sandwiches, golden hash browns, choice of drink, coffee, tea, soft drink for only $5.55. We invite you to check that out. Three Guys Before the Game, getting a lot of Lou Wendell references. As a matter of fact,
on the Missouri River, that are
talked to a lot of people that brought Lou Wendell boats in from West Virginia, and the locks that they had to go through in certain canal systems, unbelievable.
Got here faster than people flying.
A lot of
people.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that actually might be true.
Yeah.
That part might be confirmed.
I tell you what, every place we've gone to or walked around since we've got here, and we had our last episode on Friday, and Siobhan gave us her story. But I have met about 8 Siobhans who have these mind-numbing stories about how hard it was to get here because of bad weather. And Mountaineer fans who don't know each other, the only thing they have in common is that they're wearing the logo. And they say, hey, are you going? You're going to the, yeah. Well, would you mind if we'll cancel that rent-a-car. And I spoke to a lady yesterday from Pensacola, Florida, her and her husband. So they ended up with, it was either 8 or 9 people in a 15-passenger van. And like they're at the rent-a-car line, and they're literally going like, hey, if we get this van, you guys in? Are you guys in? Do you have cash? You have cash? Yeah, 100. Give me 100. Give me 100. Okay, just give it to the guy. And they drove all night. Three guys. So anyway, most people boating got here quicker. Lou Wendell Marine Sales is the largest pontoon boat dealer in the state of West Virginia, the only Honda Marine premium dealership. And obviously, we're in the midst of boating season. Their inventory right now is standout. If you need sales, service, supplies, whatever you might need, it's Lou Wendell Marine Sales. And yes, I have privately confirmed that every James Bond movie where you see a pontoon boat is a Lou Wendell pontoon. Guy told me it was true.
Unconfirmed.
We have talked about this ad nauseum, but it deserves even more discussion. 2 things. Mountaineer Nation showing up with great enthusiasm, passion, joy, verve, everything associated with the team that's winning, number 1. Number 2, and Brad, you've been here before, it's new for us, the atmosphere. It's incredible. I just can't, I walk around agape. My mouth is hanging open.
Gape. He gave it a gape. A gape.
I mean, just all that is going on and associated with this. This is a, and I've been to bowl games, been to Final Fours. This is a special event.
The reason it's been here, 50, 60
Since
years?
1950.
Yeah, the reason it stays here is because of what you just said. It was again last night.
Yeah.
There are 2 teams playing that aren't local. And that thing's packed out. There's very few, if any, empty seats. This community supports this event. It's been a blast to be here. And you're right on the Mountaineers. That was a whole second shift that arrived for yesterday's game. There was they clocked in and they were here.
But the first shift didn't leave.
They did not. They just worked overtime.
They worked overtime.
And then the second shift came in. That event we had here with the MAC and Golden Blue Enterprises and the Alumni Association was our second one.
Yeah.
Friday was pretty busy up here, pretty crowded. Yesterday we were overflowing.
Couldn't move.
Again, great job, Mountaineer fans showing up in Omaha.
You got some spreads on stats?
Yeah, I got a couple. We've given most of our numbers. I think here's a couple others that jumped out, and I'll lead with the one outside of the 2 errors on the score line. As you look through it, you mentioned left on base. Carolina actually left more on base than you did. You were right there for a win, guys. You were right there. But here's one that got you. Runners on third, less than 2 outs. West Virginia goes 0 for 1. North Carolina, 3 of 3. So timely hitting and a couple of key mistakes by West Virginia changed the face of this game. And unfortunately, as we said, Max Yale gave you exactly what you were hoping out of your starting pitcher, out of your ace all season, and you just couldn't get over the hump there and find a way to get a win. And now it sets up a big game against Troy. You have got to line up and go get this one, but you've got some pitching options, right? Dawson Montesa that we just mentioned is available. Ben McDougal is available. You haven't seen Carson Estridge yet get in. Reese Bassinger is available. And don't be surprised if you see Chance and Cole come back here pretty early, right? He didn't throw a lot of
less
pitches.
than 50 pitches.
Yeah, about 55, I think it was, when he in the first game. You will see him return there. So you've got all your pitching available to you outside of probably Korn and Yale. Otherwise, I think you got your staff, and you got to go get a win and see if you can get into a Carolina series, in essence.
It'll be really interesting for me to see what happens in that game because, so Troy, obviously, now they're 3 games in, right? This is going to be game 3 for them. And the one thing that won't change with them is their ability to hit the ball. And they have been scoring runs at a frenetic rate throughout their postseason. I mean, just like numbers that make you go like, ooh, that's frightening. But like, where is their pitching? Does this next game become, one of those high-scoring games? You don't know what they have at their 3 spot. West Virginia have at its 3 spot.
Well, they're going to have to go deep into their pen. They used a bunch of guys yesterday to get through that Ole Miss game, which you have to in a do or die. So, yes, you would hope that's the advantage, is West Virginia hasn't had to go deep in the pen, and you've got some guys that have already proven themselves in this postseason in high-leverage situations. This is just a matter of who steps forth and has one of those games that you're talking about on the back end like we did in the regional.
Brad, spreads on stats, I think, and Dan Loman and I were talking about this, I think West Virginia hit it into 2 double plays in that game. So that takes, your runners off base. So you had opportunities and were not able to get timely hits when you need it with runners on base.
You mentioned Dan Loman, but like as if people know, you need to explain who Dan Loman is.
My neighbor.
Okay, that's your neighbor. So you just talk to your neighbor? Or is that
Dan Loman. Dan Loman is handling our video production while we're here, and he has done some pieces. If you follow him on social media, he has done some art. He's done some art, which if you really want to know what the scene is, if you really want to get a vibe about what this is all about, you watch Loman's piece, and you might get a little teary-eyed. Even me, who's a cold fish, might get a little teary-eyed.
Aloof and distant, self-described.
Aloof and distant, yeah. But, where do we see his stuff?
Okay, very good. So You'll be able to see all of the things that he has put together on either Twitter or on Facebook. And if you just follow 3 guys on social, it's probably the easiest way to do it. They've been retweeting or posting it. And what he does is a little bit of a special combination of audio sound bites married with still photos and video and music. And the piece he put out yesterday, which was Sunday, was a synopsis of Steve Saban's comments about just Steve, in the most eloquent way, explained to the general media about the definition of toughness, grit, you could call it hard edge, that West Virginians proclaim and this team has had. So if you go watch that, I think you'll like it. Plus, a lot of really other good stuff. So you can just follow us on 3 Guys. 3 Guys also, Spreads on Stats is brought to us by Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond numbers, complete service, public accounting, been serving clients for over 40 years, locally based in West Virginia with clients throughout West Virginia and surrounding states. And they can provide for you remote accounting. That is something that's continuing to grow in popularity. Also, they can also provide you with CFO services as well. If you're a business owner that needs help, they can walk you through the process.
Thanks to our guy Phil at Daniels as well, who has kept us outfitted in the latest Mountaineer gear that he's got available right now.
It's been a little problem for me.
Well,
what do you mean?
You had some help.
No, a little problem. People can't keep coming up to me and going like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get?" Because they're walking in these tents. They're walking in the tents and they're going like, but they see me and they go like, "Dude, where'd you get that one? Is that Horn Legend? Is that Peter Malay?" They're pulling on the back of my shirt. They're giving me the collar check, and I don't know who you are, but you're giving me. But anyway, so yeah, fine looking. They ever have the collar check? Hey, I don't even know you, sir. You're checking the back of my shirt.
Well, these two, the one you're wearing today and the one I'm wearing today, are available right now in store. They just arrived. So
at Phil's.
Head over to Phil's.
By the way, there at University
Avenue? You can
Avenue?
also go online, Daniels of Morgantown. So you don't have to just come to Morgantown. Go to the WVU shop, Daniels of Morgantown. You can get it there.
By the way, Conley CPA, tell them that we come back. We have a bunch of like balled up receipts, expenses, things.
We do have a few receipts from this
just
trip.
throw to them and say, here are you.
Do have a few receipts.
These are all business related.
Yeah. You guys ready to do some spreads on stats? Yep. So since we're
I already did all the spreads on stats.
I meant Textual Healing. Textual Healing is brought to us by the good folks at WVU Medicine, the official medical provider, healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. As everyone knows, here in the summer season, kids are running around, kids are bouncing around, they're active. Sometimes injuries happen. WVU Medicine, Golisano Children's has the best crew when it comes to pediatric orthopedics, specializing in care for growing bones, joints, and muscles, from sports injuries and fractures to scoliosis and complex conditions. We provide advanced treatment, gentle touch, because kids deserve care designed just for them. To schedule an evaluation or a visit, go to WVUkids.com. That's WVUkids.com. Normally, when we do spreads on spreads, I keep saying spreads on stats. Textual Healing.
It's early for you.
It is.
No, you get up early. We're
but anyway, thanks for the opportunity to give me an excuse, but no, it's just not. So normally we do Textual Healing and we write it all down and we have it on our sheets, but I'm just doing this on the hot fly. Someone said, have you had a Runza yet?
We have not, and that's a miss by us. Runza, very popular here in Nebraska, bleeds over into Iowa as well. It's basically bread with meat inside it, and it's
called a sandwich. It's called a sandwich.
No, it's enclosed, almost more calzone. Calzone.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's a sandwich. My son actually. My son sent me that.
Yeah, we should.
Not Andrew, the other kid that I have. He said you got to get a Runza.
Yeah, well, that's a miss. That's a miss.
Well, I haven't seen.
We're still here.
I haven't seen any. What are you doing?
We'll find one.
All right.
Matthew in Grafton writes, I was in Kingwood, that's up in Preston County, recently.
Yes.
Decided to eat at Monroe's restaurant. When I got there, looked down and saw they had chicken parm. So what did I tell the waiter?
Very good.
I said, you guessed it, can I get some Alfredo on that instead of marinara? And unlike the Kentucky pitcher, didn't even balk. Brought the food out, and it was delicious. Keep up the great coverage from Omaha. And let's go. That's Matthew via Grafton. Okay, that's kind of catching on.
Good job, Matthew.
In popularity. One person said planes, trains, automobiles. Yes, and pontoons. Mountaineers have used every kind of opportunity to get here. Let me see here. Don in Virginia writes, and I'm doing these I'm reading these for the very first time.
So
hopefully I don't swear.
Well, this is dangerous.
Maybe I'm late to the game, but studying the throwback baseball logo, I noted that the W and the V, where they intersect, form a diamond, as in a baseball diamond. Was that intentional or by design? Anyway, pretty unique. Yeah.
Good observation.
It is. Yeah, that was intentional.
it was?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see here. Again, reading this. I'm literally reading this for the first time. Hey, three guys, loving all the stuff from Omaha. Mike in St. Albans. Couple things. Daughter Zoe, boyfriend playing in college league in Omaha this summer. He's a D&E player, and he's playing in the college league here in Omaha. Yesterday, he got his host family to all wear West Virginia shirts. Pretty awesome. Zoe and Candace, my wife, an originator of the Renfredo. Wait, huh? Claims his wife is the originator of the Renfredo?
Have to tangle with Ren on that.
Are planning to come out for the championship series when we get there. Lastly, I believe we are entering the next golden era of WVU athletics. We are primed with great coaches across all sports, building a national reputation, unbelievable facilities, upcoming upgrades. Pay Ren whatever he needs to stay here. He's the difference. Have fun out there. There is no doubt that West Virginia's athletic department, as it sits today, is in a tremendously plus position. Like if you were, you know how they're on the stock market, like you're going to buy it, you're going to sell it, you're going to hold it.
Yeah,
this is a buy.
This is a buy.
For various reasons, as things have transformed over the last couple of years with hires and with a bunch of other decisions in regard to funding, you're right. you're in an absolute plus positive mode right now.
Agree. And you've been winning, right? If you take the winter season and you roll from women's basketball into men's basketball, winning the crown, into a world championship for rifle, into this baseball experience, you are experiencing an uptick right now.
When I was, and I've talked a lot about being at that leadoff baseball banquet where Coach.
Oh, did you go to that?
I was in attendance.
Did you know that he went to the
First time hearing it.
First time we heard you went to the leadoff.
We mentioned that about 20 times, but when they talked about the goal of getting to Omaha, and again, you think, oh, okay, can you get to Omaha in the College World Series? Now, what is it next year? Get back to Omaha. I mean, that's a big change, okay, in your program and how you present your program.
Sure.
Is we're going to get back to Omaha, not get there for the first time, and maybe it's out there somewhere in the ethereal, and we try to get there. No, let's get back. We've been there. Now we want to go again.
You know how hard it is? Not
Hard.
One of the teams that was here last year came back.
And North Carolina's been here 13 times and hasn't won it.
Well, we'll go further. We've used this stat a lot. There's 3 programs that have made 3 straight super regionals, because you know where you need to get before you get to the College World Series?
Yeah.
You better get to the super regional. Carolina and West Virginia, the 2 teams that played last night, are the only 2 in the country that have made 3 straight supers. Hard. To do.
Waverly from Hurricane, just an observation. West Virginia became a state June 20, 1860-3. The championship series of this tournament begins on June 20th. The script is written. It is a sign, says Waverly, formerly of Hurricane. Okay, Charlie from Midlothian said a video. I can't see the video.
I'm writing the lead right now. History was made in 18, and history was made again.
Hoppy in Omaha. Hoppy. Thanks for stopping, guys. There you go. Oh, there he is, a picture of us. Well, we can't use. There you go. Had a picture of you. You've been doing a lot of pictures, Hoppy. And yesterday, I was giggling. I was truly giggling. You didn't see this. When the Mountaineer Athletic Club event started here, they have a landing where you come up the steps to get to the second floor. And my boy, I walk in, my boy is at the middle of the landing shaking hands like a Walmart greeter as the people were coming. It was unbelievable.
Oh, I'm aware, because I tried to go downstairs to talk to everybody, and the line was so backed up trying to get to Hoppy, I couldn't get through. I had to turn and retreat back upstairs. I saw him.
That's fantastic.
I'll get back to my job back home, get the blue vest back on. That was what. You know what though? It's, and you guys tease me.
No, we're
about
totally
being
serious. It's
aloof
not
and
teasing.
distant. Well, that's a good point.
I mean, it's totally serious.
Calling me out. It's just fun. You know, it's just you meet people, you talk to them, you make a connection with them, and everybody was so. I'm into joy. Okay.
Is this something new?
Who's this?
Is this new? When did that start? What the heck?
This is a new phone. Who's this moment from Hoppy? You said
I'm
what?
into joy.
I'm sorry,
wait, no,
what?
wait, that's a T-shirt. That's a T-shirt. I'm into joy. When did that begin?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody was so happy. Everybody was so happy.
Well, now here's the thing. I'm
Okay.
being serious.
Okay.
We've been trying to tell you for years, if you would just come out with us once in a while to these events, this is what it is like. So welcome aboard.
Thank
We're
you.
glad you're having fun. We're glad you're now into joy and you've turned a new leaf. Welcome.
It's good to be a part of
Welcome.
And at moments during this trip, and this has been kind of, we could do a whole show on, like, because we normally don't travel together, right? Brad and I travel in basketball. Hoppy used to travel years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mountaineers. And so it's really the first time that, like, we've literally traveled. We're not staying in a hotel. We're staying Airbnb. And, like, there have been times where it's been like taking Hoppy to a zoo. Like, look over here, Hoppy. You see that one? Now that is now what they do there. That's a Mountaineer fan there. Now he's from Charleston. Now he's from Logan. Now how do you know that guy? Well, that guy knows this guy. And there's been so.
Oh my gosh.
The West Virginia connection thing is just bizarre.
Tell the woman who took forever to get here and the
Right.
connection to Gary Mertens. You got to tell that story.
Yeah,
Tell that
I
story.
didn't tell you this.
I know. I'm aware.
So Siobhan, who detailed her story in Friday's episode. We have a guy that we worked with for many years named Gary Mertens, who was a sales manager and now lives in Florida. He texted me last night and says, the lady that you interviewed that had the travel problems was the flower girl in my wedding 41 years ago tomorrow.
Of course she was.
Why wouldn't she have been?
Why, yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Texter Joe from Boaz. This one is for the Senator. I'm watching the Texas-Georgia game. They just referred to the hit as a Baltimore chopper.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the phrase, I've been watching baseball for 60 years, first reference I've ever heard of a Baltimore chopper?
We can go back and do some research, but yeah, that's a common phrase
Is
from
it?
back in the 80s. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Baltimore chop. And there's been some. That dirt is in
Yeah.
Charles Schwab Field is hard. That happened to West Virginia yesterday. There was a chopper that went over Tyrus Hall's head. So, yeah, and Hall had one in the first game against Troy that was in a big moment. Yeah, big Baltimore chop.
That is a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
The Baltimore chopper just came from the Orioles of the late 19th century. With runs hard to come by in the dead ball era, the Orioles hatched a plan. They instructed their groundskeeper to pack the dirt in front of home plate. Legend has it he once even put down a concrete slab so that speeches like John McGraw and Willie Keeler could leg out infield singles.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's good. See, baseball's got that
Baltimore chop.
stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Had a great conversation in this room yesterday afternoon before the game with Rick Wagoner. Rick Wagoner is the gentleman whose name is on the field at Kendrick Family Ballpark.
yeah.
Pitched for West Virginia late 60s in Dale Ramsburg's first year as the head coach. He's gone on and become an incredibly successful businessman, but he's an incredibly successful, nice man. And he was telling us, I said, back then, no radar gun. And he played professionally after West Virginia. I said, how fast do you think you threw it? And I thought he would go like, back then he'd go like, maybe I hit 90, I don't know. He goes like, he said, easy mid-90s or upper. He said, Rusty Staub told me fastest pitcher he's ever faced in his career. And here's Rusty Staub, a major leaguer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One of the all-time great pinch hitters, Rusty Staub.
Yes, he
Of course,
was.
yeah,
Yes, he was.
You knew that.
New York Metropolitans. Yeah, absolutely.
And also Expos.
Yeah, I think he probably played for the Extra. Big red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, big red hair.
Do you pointed out to me, and I'm catching up on some of these things, that now with the stats, where every pitch.
Oh, geez. So we were in the press box.
Did you show him TrackMan?
Yeah. Guy in front of us had TrackMan on, and his eyes almost went like, in the cartoons where your eyes go like, boop, boop. He saw RPM, spin rate. He saw exit
vertical drop,
vertical
horizontal
drop.
Horizontal drop.
Exit velo.
Welcome aboard Spreads on Stats.
Yeah, that'll make your head go.
And when you look at ball movement, where the ball you wonder, like, how does anybody hit anything ever? Like, why didn't he hit that pitch? Well, it dropped 11 inches.
Go
ahead.
The movement's everything. Right? I mean, you can catch up to 97. People always say, if you're flat 97, it's the movement. It's the vertical and horizontal break that's the whole game.
Wow.
As I said, I'm reading these on the fly, but this one is super duper great. Several months ago, we talked about a 10-year-old from Grafton who was battling cancer. And this texter writes, update on Caden, the 10-year-old from Grafton. Like a lot of Mountaineer fans experiencing Omaha, he's here, and they say he is close to ringing the bell.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So as you all know, when you
That'd
get
be great.
cancer
Awesome.
treatment, when you finish, so that would be wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike from St. Albans. So we'll have to explain this. The story of Brad and Tony being a couple of randoms on the street telling a reporter what the fan experience is like had to be the highlight for you and me. Tony, keep the beard, by the way. So we had a situation. We went to the farmer's market Saturday morning. There was a young girl, a young reporter from a television station here that was just, we call it MOS,
Yes.
Man on the Street. She was just out there getting a feature done of trying to marry their great farmers market, and I mean great with a capital G here, and the fans coming in and like, how did they like it? So we're just walking. Digger, what was that thing that I was eating? What was that called? What's that bowl?
Acai bowl.
Acai. I was having my first ever acai bowl. You ever had one of them?
No.
Holy cow!
You've never had one of those?
First one. First. Anyway, just finished it, set it down on the ground. A young lady comes up and says, "Hey, would you guys be willing to do an interview about being here in Omaha?" And we went, "Yeah." And we weren't jacking her. We weren't trying to be funny.
And you're not dressed up. You got
we're just walking,
Hat
backwards, just the whole thing. And so
We were
she
not
goes, "Yeah."
camera ready, Hoppy.
unshowered.
So she puts a microphone on him, and she stands there, and she gets behind her camera. She goes, "If you would, please state your name
And spell it.
Spell your name and say your name." And so we did that, and then she said, "Okay, now," it was great. She goes, "Just look at me. Don't look at the camera while you're answering the question." I go, "Okay, yeah, we can do that." And so she goes, "Okay. So first question." How long have you guys been fans? And at that point, you go well, and then we told him who we are, and the poor little buddy, she felt so embarrassed. I don't know why she just went "Oh, I feel so embarrassed." And I go, "Well, why would you know what we do?"
We couldn't look less like somebody in an official
true.
capacity.
Yeah, we looked
Right. So we restarted.
So-
we're okay, we're good.
so-
Because we said we're fans too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We got you. Let's go.
So, but here's the thing. The West Virginia connection, of course.
Yes.
I said, "Where did you go to school?" And she said, "Auburn." And I said, "So you know Shelley Poe." Shelley Poe was the longtime sports information director at WVU, then Ohio State, then Auburn. And she goes, "Oh, absolutely, I know Shelley." So always a West Virginia connection.
So then I sent the picture. We did a picture. I sent it
Yeah.
to Shelley. She responded and said, "Yeah, I know." Sydney Babb is the young reporter's
Okay.
name. And Shelley said, "Yeah, very talented reporter." But Hop, I don't think I told you this part of this, the rest of the story.
Okay.
So I got a text later that night from my sister who lives out west, and her whole side of the in-law family is out west. Her
Okay.
father-in-law has recently moved to Omaha. And my sister said she got a text from her father-in-law saying, "Am I looking at your brother right now on Omaha local TV?" And my sister sent it to me saying, "What possibly are you doing right now that you're on Omaha TV?" So, thank you.
Wow.
Last text. Poor Max Yale. Didn't really give up any runs. The missed call in the first inning led to 2 runs. 2 errors led to the last runs. He did not deserve that. No, that's
Might have been a strikeout there in the first inning that gets you out.
Yeah, in baseball terminology, as you've probably seen it before, you know what he's called? A hard luck loser, right? That's what it's called, a hard luck loser, and that is the game of baseball. All right. So that's the deal for this episode of Three Guys Before the Game. And again, super special thank you to the folks at Let It Fly Sports Bar and our guy Vale for being available throughout the trip. Super job by Dan Lohman. Dan's son Ben has also been here for production assistance. Didn't seem to be totally engaged in today's episode recording. Do you notice that, Brad?
No, well, he's been pretty good. He's got other things going on. He's got a bunch of things happening here.
What do you mean by that?
Just a bunch of things happening. He's a busy kid.
What does that mean?
Well, soccer starting. He's involved in the WVU soccer program.
He's the
so getting
director of
ready.
soccer operations for WVU soccer team, so he's going to be getting a phone call here from Dan Stratford saying, "You better." Yeah, there he is. Yeah, get him on video. Dan, let's just lay it down. Things are going well with Ben since arriving here in Omaha. He made a friend,
Meeting new friends.
meeting new friends, and new.
It's a lot of times that's what traveling's about. Meeting new friends, expanding your horizons, and Ben is certainly taking advantage of that here in Omaha.
Putting down roots.
Yeah, putting on roots,
well,
and
maybe. Let's not go too far.
so
Oh,
anyway.
I've moved on. I'm ready for the sending out to save the date.
Slow it down. Pull the ball back out. Slow it down.
Our
Come out to the mound.
Our next episode will come your way on Wednesday. We will do another episode coming up on Wednesday. And, I mean, this thing of what we've been doing, I just looked at my computer right here to see what the date was because I haven't been.
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, it's June 15th. We are 6 weeks from the start of football practice.
Oh, my gosh.
So once baseball comes to a conclusion, we're going to go obviously straight into football, and we have an interview with WVU quarterback Michael Hawkins, which is now, I think, gaining dust. If it were a wine, it would be maturing. We recorded it several weeks back, but obviously baseball is front and center. As soon as baseball comes to a conclusion, we'll get you Michael Hawkins. We've got another Mountaineer football player that we'll be doing as well. Well, we can say, right?
No, we're efforting.
We have another Mountaineer football player that we're going to have on there as well. So we're going to make that transition.
But what's really fun is when we get back and baseball is over, the Hawkins interview when we play it will serve as the pregame show for Coastal Carolina, and it'll go right into Coastal.
Getting close.
We're getting close.
Getting close.
Hey, this has been one of the great things about being at an event like this and doing what we're doing, because we have other responsibilities associated with this, is that this has been our world. We've just been in baseball. So I'm in golf like, how did Troy do? What's their batting average? So you just get focused on this, and I have tuned out the rest. I kind of check the news and stuff. I'm missing doctor's appointments. I'm like not answering emails. I'm just in this world, and I enjoy that. And I think the Mountaineer fans are enjoying it as well.
Because you're locked into what Janicki's exit velocity
exactly,
is for Troy.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's right. And by the way, just one last. Recruiting-wise, West Virginia literally has been recruiting and doing deals with players while they're still playing. I saw a stat yesterday. There was a stat, top transfer portal players available based on a certain statistical category, and West Virginia had 3 of the top 6 or 4 of the top 6 players.
Yeah, it's been a productive,
in the country.
It's been a productive portal class. That class is almost done. Only a couple slots left, I believe. And one of the stars of the transfer portal coming in from Lemoyne, Jack Cannon. Jack Cannon is in.
Oh, boy.
Has a bunch of tools, Hoppy. 50 stolen bases, can hit home runs. Yeah, so it's going to be it was a good offseason for Steve.
Where do you say he went to school? Where did he go to school?
Lemoyne.
So always a West Virginia connection. Where Lemoyne is Syracuse, New York. Who coached at Lemoyne?
John
Beilein.
John Beilein. So once a Dolphin, always a Dolphin, as they say.
Did you see former West Virginia interim head coach here yesterday?
Josh Eiler was here.
Josh Eiler was here.
Josh.
Good to see Josh, and made the drive up with the family, so it was great to see him.
It was great to see him.
Still here supporting the Mountaineers.
Yeah, just absolutely fantastic to see all those familiar faces. All right, that'll do it for us. Special thanks to the guys back in Morgantown, producer Jake, Harrison Lewandowski, putting it together, because believe it or not, this is kind of hard to pull off when you're far from home, and we have been really just delighted with everything that we've had contact with in this studio, and it's been fantastic. All right, 3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Gomart. Get yourself the Gomart Rewards card. Go to Gomart.com for details. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. Well, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Looking into this, guy told me, and I'm going to seriously try to find this on ChatGPT, told me the boat that Columbus used to come over was a Lou Wendell sailboat, but they're out of the sailboat business now. 3 Guys also brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. The Nina, the Santa Maria, and what was the other?
Pinta. The
Pinta. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. They won't take no for an answer. By Connolly CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers, and healing, brought to us by Textual Healing, brought to us by WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. We're out. Another episode comes your way on Wednesday. Stay well. We'll see you. 3 Guys Before the Game.